Hello students, today we are going to learn how to create a database in MySQL with the help of Python commands. That means executing of the commands will be done in Python, and the database as well as the table is going to be created in MySQL. So let us see. First of all, we require to import the connector. So for importing the connector, we have to write import mysql.connector, and then we are giving it as a name mycon, so that wherever we are using mysql.connector, it can be replaced with this name mycon. Otherwise, we have to write the complete name again and again, mysql.connector again and again. So we are naming it as mycon. So next step is we are creating a connection. So for creating a connection, we have to write the connect. We have to use the connect function, like mycon.connect function is going to help us to make a connection with the MySQL application. So in that, we have to write host is equals to either localhost, or we will be writing simply 127.0.0.1, or we can write localhost also. Then we have to give the username in which we want to create the database. By default, the username is root. By default, the username in MySQL is root, and the password also will be the same password which you have given while installing your MySQL application. You have to remember that password. So MySQL's password will be given over here. So like in my case, I have given admin as the password, so I am writing admin as the password. So password is equals to whatever password you have given. In your case, you will be writing that. Don't write admin because you might have given any other password also. The next step is we have to create a cursor. So for creating a cursor, we will be writing con, that means the connection which we have created, dot the cursor name. So what is basically cursor? So cursor is, you can say, a temporary memory in the server which is going to help you to execute the commands. So we are creating a cursor. So cursor, cur, is a variable name which I have given for creating a cursor. Cur, you can give any name. Name is not the matter. So cur, because its name is you can say identical with the name cursor, so I have given cursor. The next step, we have to write cursor.execute for executing the commands. So first of all, we want to create a database, so we will be writing create and then database and then the database name. So it may happen that the database is already existing. In that case, you will get error message. So if not exist is being added over here as a command. That means if you write like this, create database, if not exist, then the database name. In that case, if this particular database is existing in MySQL, it is not going to be created, and if it is not there in MySQL, this database, that means the name company database, is going to be created in the database only when it is not present. If it is present, this command is not going to be executed. That means no error message will be generated. Now after the database is being created, we have to enter into the database. So for entering into the database, we will be writing cursor.execute and then the name of the database which we want to enter. So like we have just created the name company, so we will be writing use company for getting into the database company. So after we have entered into the database company, we now want to create the table. So again, so all of you must remember that all the commands are going to be executed with the help of this execute command. Okay, so we are executing now the command for creating the table. So let us assume we are creating a table with the name employee. Once again, the same command which we were writing in MySQL will be written over here, but with these three words, if not exist. Otherwise, if let us assume the name employee is already present in the table company, then it is going to show you error. So if you write if not exist, in that case this table will only be created when it is not there in the database. If it is already in the database, then this table is not going to be created. So we are creating a table with the name employee with some columns like EMPNO of data type INT, name of data type varchar, department of data type varchar, and salary of data type INT. And after all these commands, we are writing connection.commit. So this commit statement help us to permanently save all the changes in the database. So after execution of this command, let us see whether the database has been created or not, or the table employee has been created or not. So let us open MySQL. We have to get the password admin admin. Let us see which all databases are there. Show databases. So list of databases come up. This company has been created. Use company, database changed. So let us see whether our table has been created or not. show show tables. So our table has been created with the name employee. So if we want to see the description of the table employee, we will be writing DESC and then EMPLOYEE employee. It will help us to see the structure of the table. So we have created the table successfully with the field employee number, name, department and salary, employee number, name, department and salary, with all those data types which we have used in Python successfully. Now let us move forward and insert some values into it. So for inserting values, we have to again start up. We have to first import mysql.connector. Once again, I am naming it as mycon, and then I have to set the connection. For setting up the connection, this time we have given host as 127.0.0.1, root as the username, and password same as admin. So one extra parameter over here I have set this time as database, because we have created the database with the name company in the last program. So we are using that very database, so we can give directly over here database equals to company. So directly we will be entering into that database, and then we have to start with the cursor. We have to declare a cursor by writing the connection name dot cursor method or cursor function and giving it a name. That means any variable name you can give. We are giving CUR as the cursor. For inserting records into the table, I have used two methods. So let us see the first method first. Inserting only one record at a time. So if we want to insert only one record, that means if we are going to insert only one record into the table, then we can do that just by writing like this, accepting the employee number by giving int input, enter employee number, entering the employee name by writing input enter name, again accepting the department name, accepting the salaries, and then writing a query. So query over here is simply a variable name in which I am storing the query as a string. So insert into query help us to store values into the table. So I will be writing insert into employee, then values. Within values I am using these curly braces because these variable names will be simply replaced in these curly braces. So curly braces along with the inverted commas are only for the character and worker data type, whereas for integer, float and any type of number we are not going to use any inverted commas. That means since our employee number was of integer type, we can see over here again, employee number was of integer type and salary was of integer type, name and department was of character type. So we have given over here employee number without inverted commas, name, for that inverted comma was there, and name, department name, inverted comma will be there because it was also string, and at the last for salary. Dot format will help us to send values into this query. That means this E will be simply replaced into this very first, then N, that means the employee name will be replaced into the second one, then D, that means the department will be replaced within this one. That means each of these curly braces will be replaced by the values which we are providing to the format function. Each of the curly braces will be simply replaced by the values which we are providing to these variables. So after this, our query is now ready to be executed. So we will be executing our query simply by writing the cursor name dot execute and the name of the query which we have used. So we have given the name as query only, so that query will be executed, and then commit means simply we are storing it permanently. So let us execute the program. Now let us see whether this program, with the help of this program, we can insert one record into the table employee or not. Let us press Ctrl Shift and F10 key and then insert employee number 1001, name of the employee Ronit, department sales, salary 8500, and see the process finished. Execution. Now let us see the table whether it has been manipulated with this one record or not. SELE select asterisk from employee will help us to see which all records are present in the table. So it is containing only one record which we have just stored. So let us store one more record. Execute the same command once more, but this time with a different method, like a different technique. So we are once again inserting one record only, but this time we are using this technique. That means a query will be stored that means the values are going to be taken in the same variables E, N, D and S, but with this time we are using a different technique, like we are passing two parameters in the execute function. First one is the query and the second one is the val. That means we are generating a query, that means a string, in which we are replacing the values with the help of %s. These %s will be replaced by the values which we have created over here. This value is a tuple which is having the values which are being accepted from the user. That means we are accepting values from the user and storing it in the variables, and then we are later creating it in the form of a tuple. That means this value is now a tuple which is holding all the values. That means employee number, his name, department and salary in the form of a tuple, and then later we are passing it in the form of a parameter along with the query. So let us execute this one. Oh, extra parameter, extra inverted commas are there. Employee number, so let us write 1002, SUMIT Sumit, department FINANC finance, and salary let us take 9500. So again the value has been stored. Let us check the table once again. Select asterisk from EMP. Now this time the values have not been affected the table. Why? Because we have not used this connection.commit. So if we don't use commit command, the values will not be saved permanently. So let us write that commit command over here and re-execute the query and re-execute the program once again. Employee number 1003, this time let us store. Employee name, Pratap, department, finance, salary 9,500. So now let us check whether the values have been permanently stored in the table or not. Select asterisk from employee. Now you can see the Pratap value has been successfully inserted into the table. Why it was not previously inserted into the table? Because previously this commit command was absent in our program. So if you forget to write commit, your values will not permanently be saved into the table. Clear? So we should not forget to write commit. So how can we now write or store multiple values? So of course we will be using the for loop. So let us now try to store multiple values. Let us make this one as comment. Now we are trying to store more than one record. So in this program we are going to ask the user how many records you want to insert. We all know that we can insert only one record at a time in MySQL, but if you want to insert more than one record, we have to write program. So that program is this one. We can say, so first of all we are accepting number of records to be entered into the table. We are accepting it into the variable n, then running the for loop for that many number of times, accepting values into the variable names, and again using the same technique, that means the same previous format technique in which we used to send the values in the form of variables, and then executing the query. So each time the values will be accepted from the user, each time this query is going to be executed, and ultimately when all the values have been transferred to the table, at the end you are committing. That means you are saving it permanently, and all the values of the which we have stored over here will be permanently saved into the table. So let us execute this program now. Enter number of records. We have to suppress the previous one, isn't it? Oh, I have forgot to suppress this one, so I have to stop it again. Let us first make this one as the comment so that it should not execute, because we are having values over here to be entered. So let us execute the program once again. Enter number of records to be inserted. So let us say 3 records I want to insert. Employee number 1004, employee name Pradeep, department sales, salary 5,500, employee number 1005, Sunil, department MKT, let us take marketing 6,500, 1007, name MUKTI Mukti, department MKT, marketing 5,600. So you can see message came up, data saved successfully. Let us check whether the data has been successfully saved or not in our MySQL. Let us execute. Select asterisk from employee once again. So you can see while writing select a string from employee, the table has been displayed and it shows all the values which we have stored till now. That means these three values were stored just now. So we can store multiple values also with the help of program. We can store only one record also at a time. It's up to you which one you want to use.